Hey everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative, and I hope you're having an awesome day today. This video has nothing to do with resin, it has nothing to do with ceramic resin, it has to do with card making. I've mentioned in many of my videos that I make a lot of cards, and as a result I have a lot of different products. And the reason I'm just sharing this is sort of one of those videos of, it's something I've been struggling with, and I wanted to share with you sort of a solution I've come around. And what I was so curious about is once I started doing this, I actually noticed another video on Facebook that does basically the similar thing that I'm going to show you right now. But you may not have seen the video. And because I had sort of come across it through my frustration, I wanted to share it with you because there may be some of my audience that actually does card making. And you may have been experiencing this. So I thought, well, I wanted to share, I wanted to do something a little different, and this is it. So, I don't know about anyone else in the world. For me, though, some of the stamps I get, I can't get a good impression on the paper. I get part of it. I have tried so many different ways of, is it the ink I'm using? Is it the stamp itself? Is it my paper? Is it me? I mean, the list goes on with different things. My tables that I have, if you've got these tables, card tables, call them what you will, they have a little bit of give to them. So if you put too much pressure, it impacts. So I've got this glass plate on this table. I have done some things on my desk table that I have in my other room. So we're in a different room today for this video. And yet, I just can't seem to get the stamps to come out complete. So I'm going to show you an example of what I mean by them not coming out complete. One of the things I do have is this Stampin' Up! Unit here, which is helpful for doing some stamping. I'll admit that you, we'll take these magnets off. These magnets are incredibly powerful. So one of them actually broke because it broke in half. So take heed of that. But anyways, you can use this so that you can keep stamping if your piece doesn't come out the way you want. And this is great for some stamps that I have, not for others. And this one in particular, this is by All and Create. It's hard to see what it is, but it's a teapot with flowers in it and books underneath. You'll get to see that. I'm trying to think if I have. Okay, here we go. This is what it looks like when it stamps properly. When it doesn't stamp properly, well, I don't have a really good, I've been throwing those in the garbage. Anyways, this works for some stamps because you can put your piece of paper in, line it up, use these to hold your paper down, and then you can, stamp multiple times until you get it right. This was not working with this stamp that I have, and there's some other stamps I've gotten from Temu. They're not the best stamps in the world, so of course I'm running into issues with them as well. So I decided, again, before I'd seen this video, what if I reverse stamp? So first off, what I want to do is, taking a regular piece of paper, I'm going to put ink from my ink pad on here. I'm going to move the silicone mat so you know that I'm working on just the glass. I love the silicone mat on the glass actually because it holds things in place. So let's get some of this Rusty Hinge by Ranger Tim Holtz Distress Oxide. Okay, so we're gonna, I rub it on. Do what you want. Do what you want to get the ink on. Some people just tap it. I rub it on sometimes. It's a mood thing for me. Go figure, eh? Okay. So, do you know how upset I'm going to be if this gives me the whole thing? I'm not expecting it to, but yeah, the irony of it all. So let's just put this down. Now, I also have this funky little unit here that you can use to press, your stamp down and get, I consider, more level contact with the paper and the stamp. All right, this is what I'm talking about. See how we're missing the center of this? because of the cards I make and because of the importance of the cards I'm making, this frustrates me because trying to get it to work, yeah, that hasn't been happening for me. So I thought, well, what if we reverse engineer this? So instead of trying to do it this way and getting nowhere real fast, I'm going to wipe this off. We are going to do it a different way. And like I said, it was just fluke. No, it wasn't fluke, and it wasn't coincidence. It was synchronicity that wrapped me up with the video I saw that had them doing the exact same thing. But like I say, if you haven't seen it and you're frustrated with your stamps, then this will work. Now, you with this way of doing it, let's do a totally different color just because, so you can see. You have to be a little more precise when you're doing it this way because of how we're going to do it. But it works. And you know what? I had thrown this, I was so frustrated with this stamp, I had actually thrown it in the garbage. And then when I realized, ooh, we can do it this way, I went and pulled it out of the garbage. I mean, it's a beautiful stamp. I do love the stamp. I was just like seriously spending way, way too much time trying to get this darn thing to work. So what you're going to do, and I am bringing that back now. I do need this back so this isn't sliding all over the place. Let's do this like this. This is brilliant. It's a really good idea because, I mean, it slides, yes, but not like it was doing on the gloss. So what we're going to do is you're going to put your stamp like this on your block. I guess you wouldn't have to have the block, but I do. And then you're just going to lay the piece of paper on top very carefully because you don't want to be moving it around on the ink before you get down. And then you're just going to do this. Now, the video I had seen, the person had a block or something that they were using similar to this, but a square and not near as big as that. But I guess we could use, well, maybe this will work. I'm being very careful too to keep at least one of my hands on this. And we'll see if this works. I kind of, you know why I like using my hands or my fingers is because I feel that I can get into the indents of this. So we're going to go back to just doing this. So be very careful. You don't have to press too hard that you get the indentation on the paper either. All right. And then when you take this off, be really careful. I'm just going to do it like that and lift it up really quickly. See the difference? Are we in camera there? Yeah, so there's the difference. I want to make sure you can see that. Okay, like it's not perfect by any means. I may have needed a little bit more ink on, but it's definitely better than that. So I'm going to take this. I'm just going to wipe this off of here. I'm going to get one of my other stamps because I was having issues with it too. So this is I believe All in Crate is in the United Kingdom. And I really like this, and I thought, oh, but I'm so frustrated that I can't get this to work. So I just want to I'll clean that off again in a bit. Now, I used a stamp pad for my other one. The other one's smaller. Give me a moment. Oh, a second. I got to move something before I bend it. All right, give me this. This is too big. And these All in Crate ones, I mean, holy buddy's business. Okay, we're going to do a couple, but I just want to show you another one that I had issues with. So, this is a set that I got from Temu a while ago. I hadn't tried it, and I thought I want to give it a go just to see how good or not good it is. So we're going to put this on here. Pretty stamps, but again, I was having issues. So we're going to do this one in pink. This is actually called saltwater taffy. And again, I'm just going to, and then we'll get another color for it because I'm going to do it the way I did the first one. Again, get that off of there. I don't want it. We'll do it up here so that it's not on my silicone mat because that, I know that does have an impact on things as well. And you have to, again, be careful when you're doing this that you're not moving things around. The stamps are pretty good at sticking to the paper, but just be aware that it could shift. And you'd be amazed at the amount of pressure I put on that darn thing. Okay, so again, I'm missing quite a bit of that. And I thought, you gotta be kidding me. Really? This is the way we're gonna play this game? So, in my frustration, I went, ooh, what if, like, you know, reverse engineer things. If it's not working one way, try the opposite. All right, so let me get, I don't want that color. Don't want it. Let's do the crushed olive. It's a pretty decent color. And I just want to get the, I do this just to get sort of any moisture off of that. That's the only reason I'm doing that. I mean, I love some of the stamps I have, but when I spend, and when I say I spend hours with some of these trying to get them to work, oh, I get so frustrated. And like I said, I was at that point. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to do the same as we did for this one right here. Give me a second here. My battery is starting to get low. I want to get this plugged in because I don't want to. Just give me a moment. All right, now it can charge. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with this one. I don't know how, like, if you were going to do multiple stamping of something, you'd really have to know where to line things up. But I mean, at least it's an option. You can play with this option and see what you can do. And again, I don't know if using another one of these is the best way to do it. Like I say, with my fingers, I can get into the grooves with it, which is, I think, part of the problem. With some of these stamps, I think it's not that they're not good stamps. I mean, some of them are maybe not the best stamps, but why not? Okay. There you go. I was so grateful when I finally figured this out because I thought this is solving my problem with I had 3 birthday cards that I wanted to use that on. Spending way too much time and getting way too frustrated with it. And then I went, what if? What if we do it this way? So I'm going to do one more. And that'll be it for this video. And hopefully, if you are a card maker or a multimedia craft artist, creative, this, you know, if you've had issues with your stamps. One of the other tips, and I'd found this on YouTube, was sometimes, I guess because of the glossiness of the stamp itself, there have been suggestions to use like an eraser, and you go over and you erase the shine off or whatnot, or whatever is on the stamp. And I mean, that's helped with some. You know, that's another idea, but with some of these, that hasn't even made the difference. And so I wanted to, it was like this, before I start throwing everything out and only left with like 2 stamps out of the how many I've got, let's try this. So that stamp, we'll actually do, is this big enough? Oh, it's just big enough. So we'll do this one on both sides of this paper. So this is what is this? This is a little bit heavier than copy paper that I've been using. We'll throw that one off to the side. I'm going to need to move that. I need my bigger, quite the big stamp this one is. I bought these from Michael's because I wanted something that was going to allow me ease of placing some of my stamps, because I have some fairly big stamps and this one's working really well for me as far as a plate goes. Okay, we'll do this in green. And this is one of the ones I have, I use the eraser on because again, okay, let's, you know, try different things. So, and then the other thing I was doing was my ink pad. I thought, well, maybe it's my ink pad. So I was adding stuff to my ink pad and it just wasn't, it wasn't working. And I went, you gotta be kidding, like, come on. So if you are like me and, you know, this stuff has frustrated you, maybe this is your option. This is a suggestion, a thought, another jumping off spot. Now this one I don't think is as bad as what those other ones have been, but let's just see. Bring it down very carefully. Now that's the other thing too, right? When you're doing something like this, you get one kick at the can and that's it. So you're going to, you know, and that was the other thing, you know, why I was doing it on the other table was I thought if I was doing it on a harder surface that didn't have any bend to it, even with this on it, I'd be okay. But I guess it's just some stamps just aren't made equal to others. And one of the things I was going to do is I thought, I'm not buying any more of these cheap stamps anymore. I'm going to buy the really good ones, but even in buying the good ones, you can have issues. Right? So, having an issue with that too, right? So let's do it the other way. Now, because I'm flipping that over, I'm not going to change my color. I'm just going to use the same color. And in looking at this, like where it did come out, the inks, I got plenty of ink on the piece. I'm not shortchanging the piece from an ink perspective. So I don't know how stamps are made and whether they just have, you know, if the piece that's using to cut these out is, you know, not level. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. So just get this down. Won't worry about my fingers rubbing any of this. So this is a bit of an interesting one because of how it's cut out. So you'll just have to feel with your hands. I guess I could put that over there, couldn't I? Is it going to be out of range? Yes, but no. Like I say, it just slides on there. That's why I've got it on this silicone mat. And I'm smearing it. So because I know where I need more pressure, that's where I'm applying it. Big difference, eh? And this makes all the difference in the world to me. Anyway, that is it. That's all I wanted to show you. I just thought, well, in case you're having issues like I've been having with your stamps, or you've bought stamps that you know, they're not the most expensive stamps in the world, but they're not the cheapest either, but they're not working. This is definitely an option. As long as you're, you know, able to place things where you need them to be, then it is, yeah, it's definitely an option. So we're not dealing with resin today. We're not dealing with ceramic resin, anything like that, but I thought it would be a nice break and something that you may find helpful in your travels. And I much prefer that to that and frustration. Anyway, continue to have a great creative day, whatever you get up to, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I appreciate that very much. Take care, and bye for now.